DAZZIE Dee is a name that a lot of you probably don't know about. But when it comes to hip-hop, West Coast hip-hop is... DAZZIE Dee is a name that a lot of you probably don't know about. But when it comes to hip-hop, West Coast hip-hop specifically, DAZZIE Dee has a dope story. DAZZIE Dee was an original member of Ice Cube's group Lynch Mob. Remember the scene in Straight Outta Compton where Ice Cube's crew was headed up the escalator and Above the Law and the Ruthless Records crew were headed down the escalator and they clashed and a big brawl broke out? Yep, DAZZIE was there. DAZZIE Dee's first album was produced by Dr. Dre, and he even has a great untold story about him and Tupac during the LA riots. In my interview with DAZZIE Dee, we discussed this and a lot more. Here's part one of my interview with DAZZIE Dee. In this clip, he talks about the time he wrote a diss song for JJ Fad that was aimed at Salt and Pepper.
Yeah, well, actually, the first song I ever wrote was for JJ Fad.
Was that the diss to Salt and Pepper?
Yeah.
No, I have to know the story. Why they even decided to diss him and all that?
Because because they was dissed first, you know, because Roxanne, Shantae, and all them they dissed him first, you know, just because you know, man.
They dissed JJ Fad?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay. Keep going.
Yeah, they dissed them, so you know they had to come with a record, man. They had to come with a record, and it was crazy because the only reason I was able to write it because Dre had to get a beat. Dre had started working on the beat for me, and that was his way of going, okay, you know what, write this song for JJ Fad, and we'll and I'll give you this beat, which was You Better Think. That was on my very first single. That was, you know, that was the pay for that.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you wrote that for JJ Fad. Did they even ever get any like backlash, or did they get into any real beef with Salt and Pepper, or was it just kind of a throwaway thing?
Nah, I think once Salt and Pepper heard the record, I think that because you know it was just the fact that you know Supersonic and all that shit. You know, man, that wasn't really considered hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So, especially for the East Coast. So when we came with this record, you know what I'm saying, that kind of showed them like, okay, damn, they do know hip hop. You know. And it kind of died down after that. DAZZIE Dee was born Lydell Williams in Los Angeles, California. He attended and graduated from Washington High in 1989. When he was 14, he met Dr. Dre, Sir Jinx, and KD Baby. This is where his life took a turn. He built up a great friendship with Dr. Dre and Sir Jinx, so much so that they produced his first album. Here's a clip of DAZZIE Dee discussing his early times with Dre and Jinx. With Jinx, you know, him and Dre are first cousins. So, you know, just being best friends with Jinx, man, just it basically damn near felt like we was living together under one roof, under Jinx roof, man. We was just there all there together, 24 hours a day. We was doing the rodeo mixtape shit, and we was working on my shit. We was working on CIA shit at the same time. We was working, bro.
Yeah, shout out to Rhodium. We had Tony A on.
That's my bro, man. He was my DJ. He was my DJ for the first record.
Tony A was.
Yeah.
Haha, no shit. Small world. Now, your first album was Turn It Loose, and that was produced by Dre and Sir Jinx. Take me back to that time.
Oh, that was just fun, man. Like I said, me and Jinx, we were the young guns. You know what I'm saying? Like we would basically think of us like we was like Young Money.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like where Drayden was considered Cash Money, we was considered Young Money. So, you know, we was like, while Drayden was, you know, 19, 17, 18, 19, 20, man, me and Jinx was like 14, 15 years old. Mm. You know what I'm saying? So we was young. So, you know, we was raw from the beginning. Like, you know, when Drayden was going through their Wrecking Crew phase and Supersonic and all that old fast, crazy shit, like me and Jinx was like on some real hip hop shit, so we couldn't really understand what they were doing. So when it was time for Dre and them to like, you know, okay, you know, let's really kind of, you know, get to this hip hop shit, this rap shit, you know, they kind of leaned on us for that. We was the rawest, you know what I'm saying? Us, me, because it was a crew of it. It was like just young guns, man. Me, my bro Dismo, Del the Funker, Home Sapien.
Yeah.
You know, it was, yeah, we was like the real spitters. Like we was sitting there like, oh man, we rap, all that old weird shit. You know, we kind of cool. We rap.
Ice Cube played a major role in DAZZIE Dee's early career as a rapper. Cube recruited DAZZIE to be an original member of the Lynch Mob. Unfortunately, due to creative differences, he decided to leave Lynch Mob and pursue his solo career. Here is DAZZIE Dee discussing Ice Cube splitting from NWA and how another NWA member was supposed to leave, but decided at the last minute to stay. I wonder which NWA member that was. Stick around and you'll find out. DAZZIE also discusses the Lynch Mob versus Above the Law fight that was played out on the big screen in the movie Straight Outta Compton.
The movie basically kind of broke it down. It was just all about money, man. With them, and Q just felt like he was getting shorthanded, man. And he gave them an ultimatum. And at first, his what's the word I'm looking for? His threats was you know, it was working. But then, you know, Dre and Yeezy and them, they turned the ring. They was like, you know what, you know, that's cute dope, but you're just as dope. So if you stay, you write all the shit, you get all the money. And that's why Ren ended up staying, because they were both supposed to use it. And yeah. So, but they talked Ren into staying, and that's what you know, Cube walked away.
Okay. Now, speaking of the movie Straight Outta Compton, which is what he's talking about, there was a scene in it where Ice Cube's crew runs into the Ruthless crew. I think it was at a mall or something like that, and then they ended up scrapping. Was that?
Yeah, it was. We was at a music convention in New York.
Oh, okay. Were you there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Tell me about that.
That shit was crazy, man. I mean, we knew they was there. They knew we was there, but we didn't get to see them until we was on the elevator. We was on the escalator, and they was going down. We was going up, and we saw each other. We was like, you know where to go, man, in the bathroom, man. Just handled our business.
Scrapped it out in the bathroom?
Yeah, because really what happened was before that, they had jumped Cube at the Fresh Fest. And they got a hold of him first. That's why it went down.
This was kind of retaliation.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was Above the Law included in that whole situation?
Yeah, it was really them.
Okay.
It was just them.
Okay.
It was just them. Yeah. It was like, you know, like you got to think of it, bro, like, you know, like young guns. You know what I'm saying? Like NWA, Above the Law was NWA Young Guns. Lynch Mob was Cube's Young Guns. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it had to go down that way.
America's Most Wanted is arguably Cube's greatest album. Not only that, it's in many people's top 10 album list of all times. This is right after Cube left NWA. First time away from Dr. Dre. So what does Cube do? He does the unthinkable. He goes all the way out to the East Coast and has his album produced out there. DAZZIE Dee was supposed to be on that album, but he wasn't because of, well, let DAZZIE tell you why he never made it on America's Most Wanted album.
I was fucked up, man. I was fucked up. What happened was I went out of town to, you know, hustle. I went out of town, man. My homies hit me one day, man. It was like, man, it's going down out here in Seattle. It's going down. It's crack. Come on. And instead of just kind of hanging out and going, you know, because Cube had already got his budget for America's Most, so, you know, he was kind of good financially. you know, and we was just right at that moment in time, we was just the homies. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we was the lynch mob, but you know, nobody had heard of us yet. You know, we was just in the infant stages of being that cool. So I said, let me go get my money. Q got his money, let me go get mine. And I went out of town. And when I went out of town, man, they shot to New York. And then we kind of got back to LA the same time, bro. And I've never told the story to nobody. I remember when Q pressed play on me, man. We got back, he got back. He's like, come to the house. I want you to get a record. I was like, all right, cool. So I went to the house. He pressed play on me. And he walked out the room. He was like, man, just listen to it and let me know what you think. Tell me what you think. Man, I listened to that motherfucker start to finish, bro. And when he came back, I was actually crying, dude. I was actually tears coming out of my eyes.
Wow.
Like, damn, what's wrong? Like, I was like, bro, you don't understand what you just made. You don't get what you just made, huh? You just made a masterpiece.
Did he feel that way, or was he like still a little bit just like, does this sound good? Unsure of himself.
Yeah, he wasn't not sure of himself, but he just didn't know because it was a new direction for him.
Is that when he worked with Public Enemy and all them?
Yeah,
exactly.
That's what I'm saying. All that was
Bomb Squad,
you know,
or something.
like all that was because all he did was Dre. You know what I'm saying? So so for him to go to New York, which was new, was really different. He worked with East Coast cats, which was different. To do a whole entire album on his own, which was different. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't unsure. He just wasn't sure. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't solidified yet. So man, when I got a hold of that motherfucking record, homie, I was like, bro, you don't know what the fuck you just did.
Dazzie also had a very close personal relationship with none other than Tupac Shakur. In this next clip, Dazzie talks about Digital Underground and how him and Tupac became close friends.
IQ mentioned my Digital Underground Tupac. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, you know, Digital Underground and Q was already cracking at the time. So it was basically, so when we went on the road, it was like, okay, Q was like, okay, these is my young homies. Well, not young like his kids, but these is my homies that's going to come up under me. And Digital Underground was like, well, this is my homie that's going to come up under us, which was Pac. So that's how me and Pac joined forces. You know, so we was considered the young guns of that time, of that era. Even out the lynch mob, you know what I'm saying, I was considered that young gun. So yeah, Pac we just formed a relationship, bro. Like, we used to do shit man, where I wish I could create a movie so people could understand, like, Pac was a spitter, homie. Like, Pac could make great songs, but if you really wanted to know Pac and really trip off what Pac was at, his head was at, he was a spitter, bro. Like, he rapped his ass off. Like, that's what he did. But he understood the business, so he dumbed it down to write songs. But man, we would do shit like this, bro. Like Pac would come from the Bay, and he would come with like maybe a whole cassette tape, bro. I bullshit you not, on Everything I Love, on my mom's Rest in Peace. He would come with a cassette tape, bro, with like 7 or 8 Digital Underground beats that, you know, that was made by them for him. And then I would come with a cassette, bro, like with Jinx beats. You know what I'm saying? And we would just press play on each other and just rap our ass off. It's like friendly battles, bro. Like, we would just rap our ass off for hours, homie.
Man, I wish you guys would have recorded that somehow. That kills me.
I wish I would have too, homie. I really do, man. And so that's how we got so.
If you're enjoying this interview so far, hit that like button. And if this is your first time joining the channel and you like what you hear, you want some more real West Coast authentic hip-hop talk, please hit that subscribe button. Let's continue with my interview with DAZZIE Dee, a West Coast pioneer. I'm giving him his flowers today. In this clip, DAZZIE tells a hilarious story about him, Tupac, and the Los Angeles riots.
The night of the riots, what happened was he was in the studio. He was in Glendale at the studio, and I was in LA. I was getting cracked. So I called him, and we was like, bro, it's going down out here. He was like, man, the studio, come get me. So we go way out there to Glendale, man. I don't know how many cats are not from LA that listen to your show, but we drove about 45 minutes away from LA, out of LA, man, when he got him, and came back, man, and it was crazy, man. He loved it, man, and it was crazy too, because you could just see it in his eyes how much he loved the revolution, bro. Like, it was some other shit. Like, he really dug that shit, man. Like, we was happy stealing shit. You know what I'm saying? We was happy breaking in, stealing shit, being young dudes. You know what I'm saying? But he embraced it for what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a revolution. And he embraced it for that. And that night, man, motherfuckers was like, busy doing what they was doing, trying to break into stores and shit, and they was stopping like, wait, man, you Pac, what's up, Pac?
Wow.
He was sitting there like, and he was sitting there like, man, like all bush inside, homie. He was looking at cats dead in their eyes, like, man, fuck all that shit tonight, man. Why?
So what'd you end up getting?
Man, it's crazy. I got a story about that too, homie. I got stories, man.
Please, please.
We got back. Yeah, it's crazy. When we got back to the hood, homie, my mom was fussing. She was cussing at us. Rest in peace. My mom, she was like, y'all motherfuckers gonna get killed out here robbing and stealing shit. And Pac had a big ass bottle of Tide, homie, and he gave it to my mom. And my mom stopped all that. She stopped all that fussing and shit, homie. Like, oh, thank you, baby. We was like, oh, you want some bullshit?
Oh. That Tide is that good shit. Oh, that's so
you
funny.
feel me? Like, come on, man.
Wow.
So, when we had a ball that night, man, it was some other shit, man. It was deep.
See, man.
Yeah, we went up G-Rap the next night. The following night.
Cool G-Rap?
G-Rap. Yeah, we had a ball.
The East Coast-West Coast war was a down point in hip-hop history. A media-created beef that eventually took the lives of Tupac and Biggie. As we know, Dazzie knew Tupac personally very well. Not only that, Dazzie hung out with and knew Biggie Smalls on a personal level also. In this next clip, Dazzie talks about what he remembers regarding the East Coast-West Coast war. He also discusses hanging out with Biggie Smalls during the funk.
If you listen to my records, man, I was always about LA, like on You Better Think. You know what I'm saying, man? That was like, 4 years before the actual West Coast beef. One of the lines in the songs, next time you try to diss LA, you better think. You know what I'm saying? Because I always rep the West, homie. I always knew LA. I always knew that it was kitchen with LA and the East Coast. I always knew this. So I understood, you know what I'm saying? Like, when it actually started going down, I understood it. I just hate that it had to go that far. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate it, bro. I hate that it went that far. Because it's funny because a lot of motherfuckers, man, like the rappers, they played it with the hype, homie, but it wasn't really that bad with rappers. Like, Big was cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? We had Rest in Peace. I went to New York. I hung out with Big and shit.
Really?
Like, doing the actual funk. Like, when it was like, motherfuckers not allowed out here, or, motherfuckers can't come to the East, or, when it was like that, when it was that thick, we was still traveling and shit. We was like, man, whatever. It wasn't that bad with the rappers, homie. It was just when the streets cat got to the shit, it got stupid, though.
Opinion, what was Biggie like?
Big was cool as a motherfucker, man. Biggie was cool, homie. He was on some other shit. Like, Big was on some fly shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, Big was on some Big was the dark-skinned version of a Heavy D. You know what I'm saying? Like, Big was for the ladies and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could spit that grimy street shit. But by the end of the day, Biggie was into the broads, man. And, he was just a cool-ass cat. He was one of them kind of cats where, you got some weed, or you got some drinks, you got some pretty bitches. He there, homie. You know what I'm saying? He there. He ain't tripping off nothing else. He there. And that's actually kind of what fucked him up, man. Because when he really didn't see. This is another thing, homie. And people don't remember this moment. He didn't fuck came to LA first. Puff came to LA first, and Puff did an interview. And Puff and Puff didn't have no problems on it. So when Big was like, yo, Puff was like, come to LA. And Big was like, yo, you sure? Like, what I'm saying, it's all good? And Puff was like, yeah, trust me, it's all good. They not tripping. Come out. You know what I'm saying? So, but by then they was tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like, that by then the street cats got a hold up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be in the industry and only fuck the industry cats and think shit is cool. You know what I'm saying? Which was Puffy kind of MO. Puffy kind of dealt with a lot of record executives and shit like that, man. So he wasn't really, he wasn't really in tune with the streets. So for him to say, yeah, come to LA, it's cool, it wasn't really cool. Nah. You know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, they got him, man. The streets got him. You know what I'm saying? So it is crazy. And the part about it is, man, they just don't even understand, bro, how much heart they took away from hip hop, man. With taking them two dudes, they took a lot of the heart and soul of hip hop away, man. I mean, cats couldn't. It took years for cats to kind of feel them voids like Nas and Snoop and you know what I'm saying, and Jay-Z. It took years for them to fill them voids, man.
I'm telling you, Dazzie has a story. He's worked with all the who's who's of West Coast hip hop. He even worked with one of my favorite rappers of all time, Sugar Free. In this next clip, Dazzie talks about working with Sugar Free, what he was like behind the scenes, and not only that, he drops some never before heard news about the late, great Mossberg. Y'all remember Mossberg? One of the dopest MCs to come out of LA. Unfortunately, he lost his life way too soon, and we never got the chance to see his full potential. But here is DAZZIE Dee discussing Sugar Free and Mossberg.
Free, man. Free is just a talented motherfucker, man. Free is really one of those dudes, man, where Free is a different cat. That's it. He's not playing, he's not portraying, that is that dude. And it's funny to see him like in that pimp element and having that attitude for his pimping and doing all this shit, street shit. But then when it comes to music, he's just so on top of his shit. He's a talented motherfucker. So Free always amazing. As far as Mossberg, the thing that people don't know is just because it's DJ Quick, people always think that he was DJ Quick's artist, but he was never DJ Quick's artist. He was my artist.
Oh, really?
With Shepherd Lane. Yeah,
what?
Shepherd Lane. Yeah, Tony, Black Tone,
yes.
Shepherd Lane came to me. Because at first, to keep it 100, Quick didn't even fuck with Mossberg. Quick didn't like Mossberg. I'm going to keep it 100. Quick didn't like Mossberg. So, in order for them to keep it going, they turned to me, and he was my artist. That's why if you listen to his album, what's the first thing on the album? Yo, Sax Dog, Let's Break Their Backs, my nigga.
What?
What
that red and black CD.
Yeah, you feel me?
Yep.
So that goes to show you it wasn't Yo Quick Dog. You know what I'm saying? It was Yo Sax Dog. So that was my artist, homie. So to see him grow the way he did was beautiful. But to see people think that he was Quick's artist, that kind of aggravates the fuck out of me. But it is what it is. But yeah, Quick, Mossberg was one of the best to do it out of LA, homie. His life was cut short, but the sky was the limit to that dude. He was still, stayed on this earth. He would have been a monster.
We have one more clip to play, but before we do that, I'm going to ask you one more time to hit that like button. And if this is your first time joining the channel, you like what you hear, you appreciate real, authentic West Coast hip-hop history, you are tuned into the right place, DustyVisionTV. Please hit that subscribe button. I hope you enjoyed this interview with DAZZIE Dee. Make sure you support DAZZIE Dee and all that he does. I know he's all out there on social media. Him and I are friends on Facebook. I'm sure you can find him on Instagram and all other social media platforms. Just type in DAZZIE Dee, DAZZIE. And tell him that DustyVisionTV sent you. In this final clip of my interview with DAZZIE Dee, we discuss the late, great Nipsey Hussle.
Oh, man, that shit was a loss. It was a loss for everything, man, for the movement, for the streets, for the unity, for, you know, the bringing together black entrepreneurship. It was just, it was a loss, man. We lost it all when we lost that dude, man. And what I loved about him was he was a young rider, man, and he knew everything. Like it was nothing that he didn't get off into, that he didn't pursue, that he didn't know everything to talk about, like all the facts. You know what I'm saying? Like when I first met him, he knew. You see what I'm saying? Like I didn't have to go off and shoot. Oh man, what's up? How you doing? I'm Big Faction. I did this. I produced this, and I rap, and I with the list. I didn't need to do none of that when I met Nip knew. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And but he's done that with everybody he's ever met. Like that's the same reason. Because when I remember just seeing what that dude. My mind's fucked up right now, man. Excuse me, but the cat.
Give me a clue. Oh, okay. Volume 10.
Volume 10. Yeah, I seen a video with Volume 10, and he broke it down, crying like a baby, man. But he said the same thing. He was like, man, you know, when I met him, he knew me.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? Like, he knew of me. He knew everything about me. He knew my contribution to this rap shit. I didn't have to do all that. I was doing bad when I saw him, but he didn't see none of that shit. He just saw the good and the shit that the contributions I make to hip hop, and that was Nip, bro. That's why he got sent off the way he got sent off. He got sent off like a king, homie, and he deserved that.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna keep his legacy alive, man. Damn, I'm getting chills just even talking about it.
We got to, like they say, marathon, man. We got to.